The discussion around guns is an emotional one. However, there are some issues that everyone can agree upon. U.S. ATF Agent Chris Taylor shares some perspective on one of these issues, the tracing of illegal firearms in Canada.
What happens is a lot of cops, a lot of uniformed officers in Canada, they don't. You guys aren't as to say have the. It's a similar gun culture, but the most Canadian cops I deal with have never held a pistol before they were a cop. A lot of Canadians, it's a very pro-gun culture. It's really, mostly with long guns, hunting rifles and stuff. Your pistols are, there was always restricted by our pals, the restricted possession and acquisition license. But so the familiarity with the handguns and firearms is not the same as the United States. They're not familiar with ATF. They're not familiar with tracing. Like in the U.S., that's a very common thing amongst gun owners. They know who ATF is. Up here, they're not that familiar with it. So when a cop arrests somebody with a possession charge, and they put the gun on the pegboard in the vault, they think it's done and over with. Like it's just, right. I got you with the gun. You're going to do 3 months or 6 months in jail. The gun's in there. No problem.
Gun's off the street. What does it matter?
It's done. Yeah, right. But that gun now, just say Joe, we'll call it. Joe is a guy in Florida buying 2 guns a week, ships up to Edmonton, or just say Calgary. Every time, he ships it up, and these guns keep filling your pegboard in the police department of jurisdiction, and there's no way for us or you guys to know that Joe is the one buying 2 guns a week, every week of the year, just continuous dripping them into Canada. It could be 10 guns in the box. We don't know. So what happens is when the cops don't trace the firearms, when the police departments don't trace the firearms, it never allows us to know who Joe is. So now, you could get, just say, one of Joe's guns every week for the next 52 weeks. In that time, you've arrested, just say, 52 people that are going to get 3 to 6 months each. But Joe is still shipping the guns. So Joe's, just say, if he shipped 10 guns a week, that's 520 guns he's shipped up. Now, next year, you're going to arrest 52 more people. You're going to have 52 more gun charges. They're going to do 6 months apiece. And there'll be another 520 minus the ones that you recovered. We need to know that. We need to identify Joe so that ATF in Florida could go visit Joe and shut him down, arrest him, throw him in jail, whatever. He's shipping international firearms. That would be an international firearms trafficking case. And we would investigate that person and arrest them and convict them, and they'd get years in prison. And they wouldn't be buying guns anymore. So it's like getting it at the source. There was that old parable about, when you're in a river and a baby's floating down, you go out and grab the baby, save the baby, and then another baby's floating down. Eventually you got to go up the river and find out who's throwing babies into the river.
Right.
You can't just stand there all day and keep letting. So, it's like that. So that's how important firearms tracing is, because you never know. It could be one guy, it could be 10 guys that have a ring down there in Georgia.
Yeah.
And are shipping guns. And if we don't trace them in Canada, you'll never know the source. And if we don't know the source, we can't attack the source.